we're going to have a little story about fantasy and history here. The world is not what we deem it to be. There's many different theories, but here's one theory. One theory is matter isn't matter, right? It's just energy, and anything that appears solid is just a matter of light being suspended to appear solid. You can test this by attaching a speaker to a water hose and testing different frequencies, and you can see that the water very much so will do different shapes, and it can even appear to go in reverse. And so physics is amazing. And then you have all the other planets that exist, right? And I'm not sure I really believe that, are just round, right? I'm not really sure if they have mountains and valleys and things, but in order for things, so, okay, as a human, we are living in a projection of ourselves, right? So why do we see the same certain things of mountains and cities? Like, why do they exist the same? Like, why do we all collectively know the desert as the desert? And perhaps the earth was once like not what it was, but more just roundish, like a marble. Not the big valleys, not the deserts, not the frozen Antarctica, things not like that. What if our energy was through crystals and quartz? Because I find quartz exploded everywhere. So what if our energy was free energy, definitely more higher consciousness energy, telepathy, things of that nature, instant manifestation without mining, because mining isn't necessary because things aren't made of matter, it's energy. So we had a beautiful universe, we had a beautiful world, perfect. And it was from crystals. And then somebody decided to come along and blow up those crystals and change the earth and created mountains. Now, people like going to the mountains because they're like, oh, nature, it feels good, it feels natural. Maybe it's not that it feels natural. Maybe it's because that's the energy source that is creating the main projection, that is creating all the different continents, that is creating... Mountains create the weather. What if we didn't have mountains? What if we didn't have weather? Would it just be a normal paradise? They try to say, like, we need weather to have an atmosphere, and that's what makes life capable here, but that's not true at all. Literally everything down to our very existence is a fabricated story. And then I could be crazy just by living in the desert for 15 years, cut off from a majority of society. But also I've been living in the desert for 15 years, and I have been observing nature, which is its ultimate truth that man cannot touch and cannot hide. And I am a smart person. I'm going to say that about myself because everyone else has said that to me also. In fact, the last date, I'm pretty sure I scared him off because I was too scared for him. He started not finishing his sentences because he's like, you're a smart woman. You can finish it for me. Like, who does that? So, the mountains, someone explained who has been to the top of the mountains of the planet and the volcanoes of the planet and the bottom of Antarctica of the planet. Like, he's been to it all, and he says it's a very godlike feeling. What if that godlike feeling is just because it's a source of energy that is holding us in this matrix that is holding a lot of people suffering in a loop? People that desire success, you're desiring a loop, you're not desiring growth per se. There's a fine line, so find out which line you're on. And if you're happy, that's great, because ultimately it is about joy and happiness. But if you're on a loop of healing and a loop of pity or health issues, if you're never actually healing, then that's not joy, that's not freedom. Anyways, I really do think all the science and physics that they have told us is incorrect. I know that as an intelligent person, once I started getting into certain aspects of mathematics, I started zoning it out because there were certain things that weren't connecting fully because there's more to it that they're missing. I may be self-taught, but I don't think I'm wrong on this. You tell me if walking in these areas every day for 15 years gives you knowledge or not. This is wisdom of the voiceless. This is being connected. This is truth. Blessed be.